So I'm happily beavering along on the Polo, giving it a machine polish, ready for the customer to come up tomorrow afternoon and have a look. And as per the norm, they decided to pop up now when I'm partway through it because they were just in the area, which you shouldn't do, people. Please do not do that to people to tradespeople. It is not a good thing to do. The whole idea of this is presenting it to them all done after them seeing it bad, all done and dusted, not for them to come and see halfway through with bits of masking tape and paint on it and machine compound everywhere, that kind of thing. But anyway, so they were happy. They were happy with the way it's looking. I'm not 100%. It's looking a lot better. Obviously, you can see we've got a really good shine, but there is still a lot of, I don't know if you can see there, along that edge there. This 2000 compound isn't quite enough to get some of this out. Now, there's two ways of dealing with that, which is wet sanding it and then machine polishing it, or trying to have a heavier compound. But there is no way you're going to wet sand a whole car of this volume and polish it. You do that on an expensive car, let's say 30k plus. So as I've discussed in previous videos, what I said with the lady is that I'm going to finish off the machine polish, I'm going to do the bits of paint, and then she can't get up to me tomorrow. I'm going to run it down to her tomorrow now, and then she's going to have a look over it. And if she's happy with the way it is, then she'll take it with a discount. But I said if she wants to have the whole thing wet sanded and machine polished and everything, the difference is going to be about £400 because it's an easy couple of days' work to do the whole thing. Personally, I wouldn't bother on a car this age. No disrespect to that lady, the last car did get battered fairly quickly that she bought off me, so I wouldn't have thought it's a good investment for her to spend that extra bit of money. I actually should keep it in the bank. But we'll see how it looks like when I finish machine polish. I'm sure on camera it looks pretty smart, but like I say, when you get up close, there's still a lot of light scratching I like to go. This compound I really rate, the 3M for machine polishing, but that along with the green pad, it's just not quite firm enough for this. So if any of you've got any suggestions for something you know really does cut deep, let me know. I wouldn't recommend that a novice uses whatever that is because you could burn through the paint, but I know pretty much how far I can go with stuff these days. Just a quick reminder of how bad it was. That's kind of like what it was like. So there you go. That's what all the paint was like all the way around, and that's like a bit of the bonnet where I have machine polished it. So like I said, there's still lots of light scratching, but it is obviously still a million times better. So that's our little Fiesta, all ready for our young lady, all machine polished and detailed, looking fantastic. So that's going out first thing tomorrow morning. No, it's not. It's going out last thing tonight, actually. And it's going to be the first car to receive one of our new Mussy car sales gift box. We're going to see how we get on with these. It's supposed to design to get me more reviews. So you get hold of Mussy. And there's the name. I think they do various different types of gift packs. I think you decide what type of one you want to have, and then it's all nicely presented in this little box. I put one in the car when I sent it to Rob, Cubic Cars. Sent it up to him, one in the X5, didn't I? I think he featured it on his channel. So it's got drinks in there, chocolate, other bits and bobs. Put that on the seat, little gift box with the car, and we'll see if that gets any more reviews. It's incredibly hard to get reviews. Even when people are really happy, they just don't think to go and do it. Well, that's it. Friday night, I need to get home. I haven't managed to finish it off. I had someone come and pick up the Ford Fiesta, obviously. Then someone came along to see the Dacia Sandero with his son. He's thinking about his first car, but didn't make a decision on the day. So I've painted remember there was a big scab on the bonnet there, where it was all rusty? I painted that. I'm not getting too close because it's drying off. It has got fade out thin around the edge, which you might see a bit of a haze around the edge where the fade out thinner is. So that'll have to be buffed off in the morning and have machine polished round to the boot. So tomorrow morning I need to machine polish the rest of it. I've just been doing a little bit on the arch down there as well. Machine polish the rest of it and then run it down to hopefully I don't get too many interruptions tomorrow, though I have got a viewing at 11 o'clock on a Fiat 500. Ladies just booked in with me. Started to get quite a few inquiries coming through, so it looks like the market's picking back up again, as it always does. Anyway, shut all this down, get out of here because it's getting on past 7 o'clock and I haven't been home and fed the dog yet. This is a new one. I just got my little Fiesta that I need to do a proper walk around video and get off for sale properly. I did put basic pictures of it up, but I didn't do the full blown, which I need to. I need to do better pictures as well because I did them in a bit of a grimy dark day. So its battery was flat when I got to it, so I've put my little top on it. Managed to start just with the tiny little 1200. It was totally dead, but started with little 1200. Just got 3 bars left on it, so topped onto the rescue again, even with the small ones. So now it's running, but it won't let me steer. The steering lock is on. I can only assume the battery level was too low for the electronic steering to work. I'm going to let it run for a little bit, turn it off and back on again, see if I get steering back again. But I've not had that before on a car. That's a new one on me. This is why we've got a problem. You can see we've only got 9.9 volts in the battery, 9.8, which is going to throw all the electronics off. Modern cars cannot deal with any drop in voltage at all. It makes everything go mad. So I think I need to clear a code for the power steering in order for it to start again. It's not the power steering's got a fault, it's electronic and the voltage is too low. Oh, fun and games. I'm supposed to be polishing up that Polo to take it down for the lady to see. But I've had someone come out and see the Fiat 500 who spent a lot of time here, and then she decided she didn't like red leather, which had red leather in the pictures and the video. Obviously trying to get the Fiesta sorted out because I need to take the battery out of that and charge it up. I don't want to charge it in car because it could upset electronics. That's fiddlier than I thought it was. And I've just had a call from the lady that had the Peugeot 308 estate that drove perfectly the 2 days I drove it. Drove perfectly on the half-hour test drive we went on. Drove perfectly down for the MOT and back. She's been out for her first proper trip in it. It's thrown an engine management light. So I need to nip over and do that. So I'm going to have to... The lady did come and see the Polo yesterday, so it's not like she hasn't seen it. I'm going to might have to delay her. I literally haven't. This morning plan was come and finish the machine polish off. But I literally haven't got to it. I've just been too busy with stuff. Anyway, let's crack on and get this out of the way. Do as much there because I've got someone coming to see the Dacia at 2 as well. So I can't go and see her until he's been. And hopefully he's a serious buyer because I really don't have time for faffing. I don't quite understand when you put a full walk around video of a car, photos of a car, you got the price there, everything. Why people come out and don't end up buying them. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me unless they literally have never tried one before and they just want to see their light. But I seem to have had a bit of that recently. Normally my close rates are really, really high. But I don't think it's anything different now I'm doing, just luck of the draw I think. Anyway, let's get a battery in this and get it out of the way. I think it's especially frustrating because it's a lovely sunny day and my mates are messaging me saying they're at the rugby and they're going to go on the lash. Why don't I just take the day off and come down and join them? But unfortunately it doesn't work that way, does it? Fast losing my patience with people today, I tell you. So the chap turned up to have a look at the Dacia over in the back there and came in a little beat up car that apparently just failed its MOT and his wife wanted to get something bigger. So he wanted to look at the Dacia for her, which made me think, why isn't the wife with you straight away? And he had a look over it. Lucky he didn't take it for a test drive, but then turned around and said that he first wanted to get the little car through its MOT and sell it and put it together with whatever else he had to then buy a car and start asking me how long the cars last here, how quickly they turn over, which is never a good sign that anybody's serious about the car they're looking at. So basically he's not ready to buy anything at the moment. I'd say at least he had the good decency not to take the car out. So far we've had someone who did test drive a car with red leather that decided they didn't like red leather, and someone that came to look at a car but isn't ready to buy one because they want to sell their car first. Which normally, to be honest, if I didn't have a lot on, I probably would just take in my stride. But I've got so much. I need to go and see that lady with the Peugeot, don't I? And I need to get this down for the lady to have a look at. So I've got enough on my plate. I really can't be doing with any of my time being wasted today. I guess it's not really time wasted because they've come to look at my cars, which is what it's all about. It's just obviously I make a lot of effort to make sure that people know exactly what the score is with the cars. Like I said, with the walk around videos, make sure they're MOT, they're ready to go straight out the door if they want them. And the whole idea of taking like 50 photos of each car and doing walk around videos is people already know when they get here what they're looking for, so that I don't waste their time and they don't waste my time. But there you go. Anyway, this time I could be polishing. I will say a big thank you and a bless you to all of those of you that do all your research about what you want to do with your car before you come out to the dealership rather than afterwards. Because there are some of you that just turn up and know exactly what you want, exactly what you're looking for, and you just want to have a test drive and a reassurance the dealership's a decent place to buy a car from. God bless you all. Right, hopped in the Ranger, finally off to help this lady with the Peugeot. A little bit delayed because someone else came to see the Dacia and he's bought it. Dacia's been setting the phone alight at 3795. He came in a little Toyota Aygo, Turns out I sold him a Citroen C1 for his daughter when I was down at Alfa Ragazzi back in the day. I had a lacquer peeled red Citroen C1. It's funny, I remember the cars more than the people. And he saw I had that for sale, needed a bigger car because he's running some football teams and charity football teams now, doing his thing with the kids at the weekends, needed something bigger than the Igo. Saw I had that for sale, came along, was going to think about it after he had a little test drive, but in the end he said, do you know what, I'll just pull the trigger on it. So I'm taking in his Toyota Igo 2011, which is a perfect bit of stock for me. I know I like a little Igo. It's a nice clean little car. So all's well that ends well with that. With the Dacia, we did get a sale out of it in the end, but now I've got to rush over to Barnstable and plug this car in and see what the score is with it. And then I need to rush back and finish off polishing the car. I sent the lady a message. She's happy for me to come anywhere up till 5 o'clock this evening. So I'm not gonna go and join the boys at rugby, am I? To show her the car. So it's still go, but let's go over Barnstable and hopefully find out there's nothing majorly wrong with this Peugeot, fingers crossed. So I'm in the Peugeot, I plugged it in, had the catalytic converter code on it. So either we've got old fuel, and she was just in traffic or something like that, I'm not sure, but we cleared it seems to be okay. So yeah, catalytic converter was the code, which means the sensor's picked up an air fuel mixture it doesn't like. Now that car's been sat for quite a while, hasn't done a lot of miles, and she was just out in town, so sometimes with fresh fuel and a cleaner that'll sort it, but if it's been sitting around with old fuel, other times you need to do the catalyst. One thing I did notice when I drove it, which I hadn't done before, was that the brakes are a bit grindy, and I just hopped and had a look at them myself, and the pads on the back look very low, and the pad and the discs on the front do look great. Now I'm surprised I didn't get an advisory on my MOT for that, but what I have said is I'm going to order those up and get it in and do that, which obviously is going to be quite costly. So even if I get away with a catalytic converter, I'm now doing discs and pads, which won't be particularly cheap, but needs doing. It's too early on, she's only just got the car. I never noticed them grinding when we took it out for the test drive, but they are now. So, and I say I'm surprised I didn't get an advisory for that, discs and pads, but there we go. So yeah, I've managed to create myself an expense. Right, back to the Polo. By the way, my machine of choice again then was the Archidag 600S. I think the offer is still running at the moment with £15 off. So we can get it for £120, is it? Which is a bargain bit of kit. Hell of a useful to have one of these kicking around. I'll put a link in the video description down below. So it's the end of the day. I've taken the Polo down to the lady and she's happy with it. I still want to do some bits on it, so I brought it back again and told her she can have it about Wednesday once I've done the rest of the bits and bobs. But I just took it down for the moment, just checked she was happy with the paint and whether she wanted to go steps further, i.e. have the bumper corners sprayed rather than just touched in like I've done at the moment. And she's happy to have it at a lower price with the touched in bumpers and so forth. But on the way back, surprise email from Peugeot lady, who I've just on a Saturday rushed out to, done the code for her, cleared the code, and then said, oh, I think I want to do some discs and pads as well. You'd think she'd be like, no. I've got an email from her. She wants to return the vehicle. She wants to return the vehicle because of the catalytic converter code, and she's lost confidence in the car. And she said that she's worried because even if the light stays out now, if in 12 months' time she needs to replace the catalytic converter, she won't be able to afford to do so. So I just can't get my head around that logic. So basically, I've cleared the code. If it is faulty, it will come back pretty quickly, and then I'll be on the hook to replace the catalytic converter. And I'm going to be doing a new discs and pads on the car as well. But she'd rather return that vehicle to me, buy one from somebody else, maybe drive that for 3 months, get a catalytic converter code come up, and then the dealer, as exhausts are considered a wear and tear item, will be in his rights to actually decline that claim and say it wasn't present at point of sale, and on a vehicle of that age, it's a fair wear and tear item. So she will end up paying for it anyway. With my car, even if the light stayed out now for, like, say, the next 5, 6, 7, 8 months, she could still come back under consumer rights and say it was a fault at point of sale because the code came up at point of sale. So I'd still be on the hook to replace it. So who's she better off buying the car from? From me. She's going to go out and take another risk for somebody else. So she loves the car a bit, but she thinks it makes it unreliable. I'm like, I tried to explain to her that an exhaust system on a car, saying a car is unreliable because it needs an exhaust component is like saying it's unreliable because it needs a tyre. It's a fair wear and tear item. They're expected to wear out. So when do you want to wear it to wear out? When the dealer's on the hook for paying it, or you're going to have more confidence in the car because it doesn't come up with an engine management light for a catalytic converter for 5, 6, 7, 8 months, and then you need to replace it. That's a more... I just can't get my head around the logic of it, guys. I cannot. So I've emailed her that across because she emailed me, and you want to keep it in writing. And I've explained to her that, you know, as clearly as I think I can, that yes, she can have a refund. She's entitled to a refund if she wants. I mean, we don't actually know there's a fault with the vehicle because the code cleared and didn't come back again. But anyway, so she can get a refund on the vehicle if she wants to. But if her concern is unreliability and being on hook to pay a bill, it's a higher risk, you know, changing this car in and getting another one. Because on this car, I'll be on the hook to replace a catalytic converter, and she buys another one and it doesn't come up with that light for a little while, she would then be accountable for doing it. And also to put in there as well that with her discs and pads, if she were to buy a car elsewhere and the brakes started squealing after 3 or 4 months, that's a fair wear and tear item. So she wouldn't actually be able to claim those from the dealer either. She'd be putting her hand in her pocket to do that. Because people don't get this about cars. Those items are expected to wear. So if in 3 or 4 months' time her discs and pads start squealing, it's not because the car was faulty at point of sale. It's because she has worn those components down. If it had a new MOT like the Peugeot did, that actually passed without any advisories for discs and pads, then they wouldn't have a claim later on because they're expected to wear. But I don't know, the logic of some people, you get these people every now and then, and it's always the I've lost confidence in the vehicle thing. You wonder if they've found another car elsewhere. But I mean, what better service do you want as well? Do you want a garage that's going to literally at an hour's notice drop everything, come out and read codes in your car? I thought every time I think I'm doing something that is positive, you know, I could have just obviously kept quiet about the brakes and so forth, but every time I think I'm doing something positive, it ends up actually biting in my ass, and you have to say, are you better off being one of those dealers who just says, no, sorry, you can't return it, it's not a fault, there's no engine management light on the dashboard at the moment, it's cleared, and I've driven it up the road and back, and so there is no fault for you to return the vehicle, and I'll be difficult like that. But I don't know, guys, today's just been, well, I know we sold a car, but it's just been one of those days where you just want to, the boys are still messaging me about joining them, but I really don't know. I just think Netflix and a beer is probably my night now, guys. It really is. Anyway, I know you like to see the real side of car trading. That's what it's all about. And we got a good customer, hopefully, with the Dacia. He's a good guy, so hopefully all right with that. I'll get still got to get the battery back in that, haven't I? And get that reversed up. Don't want to leave it sticking out there. Anyway, hopefully you've all had a better day than I have, and I'll catch you on the next one.